Yavapai Broadcasting and the City of Cottonwood proudly present Inside Cottonwood, an inside look at the decisions and issues of the City of Cottonwood. Brought to you by Arizona Smile Designers.
Good morning and welcome to Inside Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Edition. My name is Jason Little, Recreation Manager with the City of Cottonwood, and with me today I have the all too familiar face Hezekiah J. Allen. The reason I say familiar is because he runs all of the city's special events, aquatics. He pretty much does it all down there for the Parks and Recreation Department. Welcome, Hezekiah.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hezekiah, February. We've already made it through January. We're a month into the new year, 2013.
Yep.
I know right now this is primarily a planning month because you don't have a lot of those.
Right.
You have more or less from walking on May, and once that ends until we hit March, and then you start gearing up for the Buckle Series and various other events that we have going on. This year we were saddled with a new special event, and I know that you have some help with it, but I was hoping to bring you on and just hopefully you could share with the audience a little bit about it, and that is the Vietnam Memorial Wall.
Yeah. As you stated, throughout the year, we have some key programs where it takes a year to plan and program for those programs. But this year we were asked to help out the department with the Welcome Home Vietnam Vets program celebration, which is March 30th at the Kids Park. And in addition to that program, they're having the wall at the middle school. So that'll be there on the Wednesday, and then on that Saturday will be the celebration.
Now, Hezekiah, we're also primarily, we try to get all of our youth, the Cottonwood Youth Advisory Commission, involved in various projects and other youth within the community, using them kind of as the tentacles. They kind of go out and they bring more kids in to help with the program.
Right.
What youth are going to be involved with this program?
You know, that's a good question, and as always with these types of programs in the wall and Vietnam, you not only want to expose kids to the program, but you want them to understand why. Why are we doing this? Why is the wall here? Why are we celebrating Vietnam veterans in general coming back? So the Cottonwood Youth Advisory Commission kind of took it on themselves to help liaison that kind of in some forms or fashion. So they came up with a poster design competition, and they were also combining that with having the history teachers throughout the schools give extra credit if they attend the wall. So they understand why they're there and they can kind of experience it. Because once you get to the wall, I don't care how old you are, you're going to experience something.
It's kind of surreal, isn't it? Very
surreal. Actually, I had a quote from somebody who had attended the wall previously. And it's kind of this organization's motto. It's, I touched the wall touched me. And I think that really sums it up.
I think it's the ambiance and the atmosphere too for the youth. I mean, like you said, coming into it, they might not quite understand what it's all about. They've probably heard about it from maybe their uncles or grandparents or something like that. But when they actually step on those grounds, the middle school grounds, and they see the wall and they see the way it affects other people, I think that the gravity kind of sets in.
It definitely does. And this wall is an 80% replica. It's the largest touring wall in the nation, and it has all the names. And like you said, it's very surreal to walk up to a wall that's this large and it just name after name after name after name.
Yeah, that's interesting. You talked about a poster competition. Do they have a theme picked out yet?
The theme is, you know, with the poster competition and getting the youth involved, how can we design posters that are going to be appealing to youth and all generations? So that's kind of been the underlying theme, with it being obviously historically based. So that's kind of the wall, the celebration, all that goes in together to make the theme. Now, as far as like having like a hard line, this is your theme, stick to it, we didn't feel that was necessary because we want kids to have that creative juices flowing, and whatever they come up with and put on a piece of paper, that's what it is.
Now, my son's pretty mean with a number 4 pencil. He's drawing beetles this morning. Can he enter the competition? Who can enter the competition?
It's mostly 12 and above age limits, and they can turn them in at the Cottonwood Recreation Center. And there is prize money for this. We've broken it down to $125 for first place, $50 for second place, and $25 for third place. So that's cash prize.
That's really good. That's similar to the contests they hold in Prescott and various other municipalities around the area. If it's a cash prize, I presume that someone's going to judge it.
Yeah.
Do you have experts judging this, or who's going to judge the works?
We have Tyler Novak, who's he's heading off the Arts and Humanities Department or school at Mingus Union High School. Him, along with his AP art students and a couple of members off the Youth Commission, are going to judge the posters and award the prize money.
Now, if I were to do a poster, I mean, I wouldn't win, of course. I'm not very good
I don't know. If he's drawing Beatles.
Are you going to go ahead and display everyone's art or just the winners? How does that work?
We're going to display the top 10 at the wall, their artwork. And then obviously the artwork that wins is what we're going to use for the posters, banners, and stuff like that throughout the community.
That's a great idea. So you might see these posters in other areas as well.
Yeah, hopefully you see them everywhere.
Center, library, everything like that.
Yep.
That's great.
It was a great idea. I forget who came up with that, but
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Where can I get more information on the poster competition?
You can call the rec center. You can call Tyler Novak at the high school. We've all got the information, and we can get it to you. When you come up with your design, though, you need to turn them in at the Cottonwood Recreation Center, 150 South 6th Street.
And is there a deadline for this?
February 8th is the deadline.
Okay, so that's coming up pretty quick.
It's coming up.
Okay, and have people been calling? Are you getting a lot of interest, or still kind of?
You know, it's going out through the tentacles of the school districts, Tyler, and flyers are up at the schools, along with American Heritage. We've approached the art teachers of each one of these schools, and so that they can maybe tailor some classroom time to it.
That's great. This wasn't necessarily on the page, and that's how I always catch you off guard.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking, and a lot of things come to mind. Do you know the dimensions or the weight of? Is it marble? What is it? Limestone? What's the dimensions of the wall?
Let's see here. It's A-frames. It's 3 two-sided 24 by 36. It arrives on a 24-foot car hauler trailer. They even say it's pulled by a Chevrolet 3500 crew cab. So if you see that coming from I-17, you'll know what it is. That's part of the theme, that the trailer's painted up and everything. In addition to that, they'll have a disc and some books with all the names in it, so you can reference the book or the disc before you go to the wall. And of course, the popular thing to do is put the piece of paper up there and outline the name and take it with you, have it framed or something like that.
I didn't know that. You said it was going to be displayed at the Cottonwood Middle School. Mm-hmm. And what are those dates again?
It'll be here the 27th through the 30th of March, and it'll be right on the field. You'll walk down the steps where the bleachers are onto the field, and the wall will be there. The veterans at the VFW really wanted to make sure that the wall experience is solemn. It's a time for people to remember. One of the quotes said it's a time for laughter, love, hope, and healing. And a lot of passion goes into that. So we ask that everybody respects that when they're at the wall. And then the celebration is more of exactly that, a celebration, welcome home, all of that. And even the veterans of Vietnam at the VFW wanted to make sure this is for all, that everybody knows this is for all vets.
That's fantastic. And their families, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Something like this has to come with a hefty price tag. Is there an admission cost? Can anyone come and look at it? How does that work?
That's what's amazing about this is the communities in this area have really came together to support this program, support the wall coming, so it's free to anyone who wants to come, who wants to see the wall. And that's part of the American Veterans Traveling Tribute's mission statement, is to provide an experience that people couldn't necessarily have if they didn't have the funds to go to Washington themselves.
That's great. Once again, Jason Little, Recreation Manager, here with Hezekiah Allen, the Aquatics and Special Events Supervisor, talking about the Vietnam Memorial Veterans Wall and the celebration that's coming to Cottonwood, Arizona, March 27th through the 30th. We'll see you after the break.
everybody. I am Lou Ann Patterson. My family and I would like to welcome you to the Copper Star Indoor Shooting Range, Northern Arizona's premier shooting sports facility. We offer a 25-yard pistol range, a 50-yard archery range, and Arizona's only 100-yard indoor rifle range. In addition, we have a full-line gun shop as well as an archery pro shop. Come check us out. We're located at Highway 260 and Cherry Road, right next to Out of Africa. Looking forward to seeing you all.
Good morning and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Edition. Jason Little, Recreation Manager, here with Hezekiah Allen, Special Events and Aquatics Program Supervisor. Today we're talking about special events that are going to be taking place in March, and specifically we're talking about the Vietnam Veterans Wall that's coming to Cottonwood, Arizona, March 27th through the 30th. Hezekiah, when we went to break, we were talking about cost to the public, where the wall's going to be, and also we were telling the audience about the mobile wall and why it will be on display. I guess another question I have for you is, you mentioned briefly that the wall was going to come from I-17 in the Cottonwood.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that there's going to be an escort for the wall from I-17 to the middle school. Who's providing that, and what's that all about?
The American Legion Riders and a couple of the other motorcycle organizations, they're going to have a meeting at I-17 and 260 along with the Purple Heart truck and the Purple Heart Award winners, and they're going to escort the truck in from I-17, 260 into the middle school, and then kind of have a celebration or a ceremony of when it actually gets to the site. Because like we stated before, I mean, this is a very powerful experience, and we want to make sure that people know about it and that it's kind of a parade in the town.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that. And does the media know about this? Newspapers? I mean, that'd be a great picture for the front page of the Independent or the Journal, too.
Definitely. And then, like you said, with this organization, there's a committee that's kind of helping to put this together. There's a public relations marketing person on the committee, and that's kind of their detail.
That's great. It's a big wall. Does it stay on the trailer? Or do you need volunteers to help set this thing up?
We definitely need volunteers. When the wall comes in, it comes in on a truck, and panels have to be taken off and put on these little A-frames, and it's kind of put at an angle. It takes some bodies to put it together. It takes some bodies to guard the wall throughout the night to make sure nothing happens to it. If you're interested in volunteering, contact the VFW and speak with Ron, and he can point you in the right direction.
Okay, and do you know Ron's last name, or?
I do not. It's a VFW here locally, so I think it's Bruce is his last name.
Okay, and it's off of Aspen, is that correct? That's great. Had to be a lot of contributors and players in bringing this to the city.
Definitely.
Who put up some of the money so that the wall could come to Cottonwood?
You know, it's a community effort. City of Prescott came to the table. City of Sedona, City of Cottonwood came to the table. Walmart, Food City, Home Depot, Nate's Cowboy Cafe, a lot, and they keep pouring in. Whenever you mention Vietnam War, veterans, people have, I mean, it's unbelievable response, which it's kind of exciting.
So the boundaries kind of go to the wayside.
Boundaries go to the wayside.
People from Prescott, Sedona, because they all have.
There's a common interest there.
Right.
They have relatives, they know people who've been through the situation, or like myself, I've watched Tom Hanks, in Band of Brothers, I think it was.
Yeah, I saw that too. Interesting. If citizens want to donate, can they make a donation, and who would they make it out to?
They can make a donation, and they would make that out to Community Counts. That's our 501c3 for this program. Mary Lee Fowler is kind of the one heading that up. You can find her on the internet, and that would go to contribute to help the wall be here, and then the programs that's happening while the wall is here.
Now, is this wall similar to the one in D.C.? Does it have to be guarded all night? I mean, do they, everything, is it all similar?
It's all similar. It's an 80% replica of the wall. And like we were stating before, volunteers are huge because it does have to be guarded throughout the night, and that's a lot of shifts, and I'm not a night person myself, but I might be down there, who knows.
Yeah, exactly. What's the concept? We've talked about the wall quite a bit.
Yeah.
Can we get a little bit into the celebration portion of it too?
Sure. The celebration is meant to be exactly that, a celebration. The wall is somber, remembrance, a little laughter, tears, that kind of thing. The celebration is live music, it's speakers, it's a lot of thank yous, because we all kind of know that when the veterans returned, they didn't get that warm welcome. They went through the mud and the dirt and all that stuff they went through over there in Vietnam, and to come home with not a warm welcome, quite frankly, it's embarrassing. And so we're trying, in a small way, kind of make up for that. You never make up for that, but it's kind of one of those, we realize what you guys did, and thank you.
That's very poignant. I like the way you put that. You said music.
Yeah.
What kind of music you gonna have?
You know, that was one of the VFW guys. They were like, what kind of music you guys gonna get? And I was like, well, I don't know, whoever we can get to, you know, donate their time and that kind of thing. And they're like, well, you know what we like, right? I'm like, no, what do you guys like? Well, CCR, Skinner, you know, music of that era. So make sure you get that. So it's gonna be along those lines.
That's great. So you'll more or less find local musicians or bands, and they'll play music similar to that.
Yep.
Great idea. How did the program start, Hezekiah?
And you know, it started, I think, with City of Sedona. And they had some locals there that wanted to get this kicked off. They wanted to do a celebration, a welcome home celebration. And City of Sedona had last year. This year, the City of Cottonwood agreed to host, facilitate, along with the local VFW chapter. So that's kind of been the transition. So I don't know if it's going to trade back and forth or not, but we'll see.
That was my next question. Will it go back and forth, or will it go somewhere else?
Who knows?
Does this wall just travel around the country? So any municipality can more or less reserve the wall?
Right.
Or is it like a large musical act? Do they book a year out in advance and kind of plan their route accordingly?
Yes, it is like a large musical act. I think prior to us, they're in Palm Springs. So it's kind of a natural transition. The wall is self-funded via sponsorship fees, merchant sales, donation. It's contracted by the Texas Freedom Tribute. The principle is that American heroes must be honored and remembered. Additionally, AVTT allows those without the means or ability to travel to our great national memorial sites to pay respect and share in the national experience of honoring our heroes. So that's kind of the reason. AVTT stands for American Veterans Traveling Tribute.
Okay, and the program happens up at the Cottonwood Middle School.
Yep.
That's where it's located.
For the wall.
For the wall.
Yeah.
All right, what about the program? When does it happen?
The program is March 30th. That's at the Kids Park in front of the fairgrounds, and that's 1 to 5, roughly in there. We'll have free food there. The Knights of Columbus stepped up, and they're going to help us out cooking and everything, and they always do an excellent job. Walmart, Food City, they're going to donate the food for us. Home Depot, the tables, all that kind of stuff. And then we got some great speakers. Bob Burnside, Rob Adams, and Diane Jones are kind of their local mayors in this area. As we've stated so many times, this program has brought everybody together, which is kind of neat to see.
And who's helped out with the donations to make this happen?
The committee has really come together with the donations and going after these people. Like, when you mentioned the war and veterans, people, it's funny how many times we call these people and say, you know, in your head you're thinking, I hope they step up to the table. I hate asking for money, that kind of thing. But as soon as you mention veterans, Vietnam War, the year ago, I knew someone that was into that. I was in Vietnam. What do you need?
You know, a number of the Knights of Columbus, I know a number of those men, a few of them also served in Vietnam as well.
Yeah.
So that is interesting.
Yep.
Real easy to get from the wall to the Welcome Home Veterans Program. Can you just give the audience a brief rundown as to how you would get there?
Yeah, we're going to have cats, transportation from the wall to the celebration on Saturday, March 30th. They're going to run in 30-minute increments. The last one is going to leave the wall at the end of the night to bring people back to, leave the celebration at the end of the night, bring people back to the wall to their cars.
That's fantastic. Well, Hezekiah, I got about 5 to 7 more questions for you as it pertains to the wall.
Okay.
And I'd also like to briefly get into maybe the Easter egg hunt and some other things you have going on in March as well. Is that okay?
Great. Yeah.
All right. Well, when we come back from the break, we'll continue discussions on the Vietnam Wall coming to Cottonwood, Arizona, March 27th through the 30th.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Edition, the show that keeps you in the know of everything happening here and in your community. With me today I have Hezekiah J. Allen, the Special Events and Aquatic Supervisor for the City of Cottonwood. And when we went to break, we were talking about the Vietnam Memorial Wall that's coming to Cottonwood, Arizona, March 27th through the 30th. And also the Welcome Home Vietnam Veteran Celebration, which is also going to be at the Kids Park, which is real close in proximity to where the wall's going to be. Hezekiah, when we left, we were talking about the program, who can attend. You mentioned some speakers that were going to be there.
Yep.
I just wanted to preface a few more things. You talked about admission being free, but at the celebration, you also mentioned there was going to be food provided by, I think you said Food City?
Food City, Walmart, Knights of Columbus, yes.
Okay, is the food free to the public?
Yes. You heard it here, you heard it now, the food is free.
What kind of food are we talking about?
Hot dogs, hamburgers, you know, filet mignon, cheesecake, that kind of stuff. Pretty much just hot dog, hamburgers, chips, that kind of thing.
That's great. And will it be served from 1 to 5 or just?
It's going to be, there's going to be a little bit of a delay there. 1:45 is when food service begins because they want to get through the speakers and the posting of the colors and the national anthem before the food starts.
Speaking of the national anthem, it was accompanied by the Pledge of Allegiance as well. Who's performing the national anthem and who's going to do the Pledge of Allegiance for you?
And another way we wanted to get youth involved is to involve them in the celebration program. So we're going to have Girl Scout Troops 977 do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then a local kind of young award-winning singer, he's going to sing the Pledge of Allegiance, Eli Torbach. So that's it.
He sounds
great.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard him before?
Yeah.
Or just tape recordings?
July 4th.
Oh, same one, yeah.
Same
and he
one.
sung like the 5th verse or the 3rd verse or something.
5th verse.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. That's for sure. If someone wants to get involved, once again, where can they go?
The VFW, and you can contact Community Counts. Both those organizations can point you in the right way. Along with, you can call the Parks and Recreation Department, 928-639-3200.
And if I hear the rumble of motorcycles on March 30th, what's it all about?
Get under your couch. That's all that's all I can say. Along with escorting the wall from I-17 and 260, in that area, they're going to have on March 30th, prior to the celebration, a ride around the Verde Valley. I think they call it the Fallen Heroes ride with the Purple Heart truck, I believe, again, and then they're going to end at the celebration.
That's a great idea. Now, is that an additional cost, or is it just anyone with motorcycles show up? And
I think the way they're going to organize it is that veterans are going to be up front and then followed by other motorcyclists.
That's great. All motorcycles?
You know, if you got a 3-wheeler, 2-wheeler, cage on wheels, whatever.
All right, it's all good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Scooter.
Scooter, that'll work too.
You might want to get it out, dust it off.
I do. My son has one of those.
Does he?
Yeah, I could use his. But no, anyway, Hezekiah, I really appreciate all of the information you've given us on the wall. And we have about 4 minutes left, 4 or 5 minutes. You have a few more events. We have one new event that's going to be happening here in March. It's going to be taking place at the Recreation Center, I believe the 2nd week of March.
March 9th comes to mind.
So it'd be the 2nd Saturday of March.
Yep.
And what is that?
It's called the Baby Bazaar, and I don't have kids, but everybody I know that has kids. You have 2 kids. They all go through these transitions where they grow like weeds, and you pretty much buy new clothes. 6 months later, you're buying more new clothes, you're buying new toys, and it's kind of a constant revolving door. hopefully this gives young parents and parents in general an outlet to trade in those old clothes that really aren't that old and buy some newer used clothes for the next age that the child goes into. And so that's what the program is. It's $10 in advance if you sign up early prior to March 6th for a booth. After March 6th, it goes up to $15. You can sell whatever you want. The one thing we do caution, and we want to make sure everybody knows, is these items must be in excellent condition. We want people to come to this program and buy good stuff and have that reputation of having good items.
So instead of setting up a yard sale outside of your house, you can come rent a table from us.
Right.
And $10, $15.
$10 in advance, $15 day of. You can have your table, sell items, you can exchange items, go from there.
Great concept.
Yeah.
Who's heading that up for us?
That would be Amanda Puckett, and she's one of our part-timers, and she's doing a great job with the program.
I did see the flyer. It turned out quite nice. Mm-hmm. Let's hope we get a good response from the community.
Another great idea.
Yeah.
They're just keep flowing.
That's for sure. And might be a good thing for you to check out too.
Yeah, definitely. I guess maybe in the future.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you stock up on items like that?
Yeah, you can never have enough. Just buy them by age divisions.
Age division,
yeah,
and diapers.
And diapers, plenty of diapers. All right, Hezekiah, we talked about the Baby Bazaar briefly, and thanks for filling the audience in on to what that is all about. Mm-hmm. We also have one of our largest and most tenured events coming up in March. And what would that be?
The Easter egg hunt. And that is, again, March 30th. So that's going to be a busy day for people. In the morning, they can go to the Easter egg hunt starting at 10 a.m. And then afternoon, head over to the Welcome Home Veterans program for some food. The Easter egg hunt, that program, I think always amazes us. Because these kids come out and they are lined up on the tape, and you would think that they're getting ready to run the 100-meter dash against the Jamaican in the Olympics, because it's intense.
Yeah.
So,
and what age divisions?
There's 5 age divisions. They range anywhere to
0 to 17,
0 to 17,
18 to 35.
Yeah,
3 to 4, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8.
That's it.
That's great. And once again, that starts at 10 a.m. And I know that you guys are very prompt. Mm-hmm. That's down at Riverfront Park.
Riverfront Park, back parking lot area. So when you come in the park, go past the softball fields. You can't park back there, so you have to find parking up closer. But the program takes place in the back parking lot.
That's great. Mm-hmm. And lastly, do you have anything going on at the arena or anything coming up over there?
The arena, if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, any of our viewers, there's a rodeo, junior high, high school rodeo coming up February 14, 15, and 16. In addition to that, NBHA, National Barrel Horse Association, they're having programs along with the Central Verde Gymkhana Association. You can find that kind of stuff on our schedule online at parksrecreation.org.
All right, Hezekiah, you got about 40 seconds. What can you tell us? What's the Youth Commission been up to? I know that they were extremely busy over the holidays.
Extremely busy. I mean, they've wrapped presents, they've decorated trees, they've donated turkeys. Right now, they're in the midst of planning a block concert program with a touring artist out of Flagstaff who is, I guess, getting ready to get signed in Los Angeles. He had got his start by getting stuff on local radio and kind of got recognized, but he's going to hopefully come back here and perform for us for a block party. We also have some other programs coming up. We'll possibly get some speakers at the high school. They're busy. Those kids always stay busy. It's tough to keep up with them.
That's fantastic.
And well, not kids, young adults, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Hez, thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. The information was golden. I mean, everything you discussed, I'm sure, are things that the audience would be curious about. I mean, I am too. So thanks again for being here, and hopefully we can get you on here in the near future to discuss the big summer coming up.
All
because
right.
once the summer hits, things get real busy.
Baby Bazaar.
Baby Bazaar coming up March 9th. What time is the Baby Bazaar again? Do you know off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I think we start at 11.
11 a.m. Look for more information in the Verde Independent and local media outlets, and we'll see you next month.
Mañana.